It's Purple Daily on Score North and ScoreNorth.com. Purple Daily, presented by Surly Brewing Company.
They pull you back in. This is a breaking news episode of Purple Daily. Well, Judd just chugs Surly Furious on behalf of the Vikings. Purple Daily here with a breaking news episode. Dalvin Cook has been placed on the COVID-19 list. Here's what that means, and we're still gathering information here from the Vikings and the league and reporters, but because Dalvin Cook is unvaccinated, at least he's been going through all of the unvaccinated protocol all season, he has to sit out for at least 10 days, which means he is out for this Sunday's game against the Rams. If you start to do some math on this, he's cutting it really close for the Packers game next weekend. The 10 days would be into next Saturday, and if he tests negative and clears all of the necessary protocol, he may be back for that Packers game. But the Vikings will be without Dalvin Cook against the Rams, boys.
Unfortunately, with what has transpired in this country and the world of late, I guess I'm not surprised. It's just, look, I've spent the past week and a half myself, or a week, dealing with this, and it's not fun. It doesn't stop you, but the problem is, in this league, no matter what you think, okay, because it's very important. So again, I think that we've done a really good job of staying away from the politicized discussions of this whole thing. But since the season started, since training camp started, this league has made it very, very clear that if you're not vaxxed, they are very well going to get you. And now it's more evident than ever, because I believe it was last weekend that they basically said, starting with week 16, which we are now in, that this league is going to stop testing players who are vaccinated unless they're showing symptoms, which basically means you have to come in and say, I don't feel good. And then they will give you a test. In no way am I saying that means that, oh man, if you're vaxxed, you're fine. I'm double vaxxed and boosted and I got it. But what I am saying is this: if you're Adam Thielen, if you're Dalvin Cook, Phil, if you're Kirk Cousins, if you're anyone on that list of non-vaccinated players, you are still subject to the stringent testing rules that this league passed. And so Dalvin Cook might be absolutely fine. He might feel fine. Unfortunately, the league has made this clear that if you are not vaccinated, there is a good chance, especially now with this thing spreading like wildfire, that you are going to have to sit out, and this could not come, if you're the Vikings, at a worse time. Yeah,
they're basically saying with their protocol changes too for vaccinated players, they basically said last week, all right, so we know that like most people are going to be totally fine, and 90% of these new variant cases are asymptomatic, and quite frankly, we don't want to have to put half of a roster on the COVID list if all of them feel fine. And so we're going to stop testing as regularly for vaccinated players. That's what the league decided. So if you're unvaxxed, you're still subject to the same protocol, and that's what happened. We don't know. I mean, we're still waiting on if Dalvin Cook, feels symptoms or whatever, but my guess is he's going to be fine. But from a football standpoint, he can't play on Sunday. So spinning this ahead real quick here, I would love for this to be an opportunity for Kene Nwangwu to get 10, 12, 15 touches on offense. So far this season, in addition to returning 2 kicks for touchdowns, he has run the ball 7 times for 49 yards. Super small sample size alert, but that dude runs like a 4.2 40 and is averaging 7 yards per carry in the 7 touches he's gotten so far in the run game. And I'm not talking about pounding the rock up the middle with him. You can do that with Alex Madison. I want to see Nwangwu in space. I want to see some creative ways getting him the football on Sunday against the Rams. I want to see what he's got offensively. I'm not saying he's Dalvin Cook, but I think all of us would love to see, can you unleash that 4.2 40 in some open space on the US Bank Stadium field turf?
Okay, I love that idea, and I agree 1,000%. And so you get zero pushback from me Do I have the faith that the Vikings have a package of plays for him set to go, or have the desire to try a package of plays up? Unfortunately, I don't, because I think you're right. Like, he had at least 1 or 2 carries against the Bears on Monday in which he just got some yards. Like he's super fast and he got through a hole and he got yards. But I keep going back to, what would the Chiefs do? Like, if they wouldn't say, let's just run you up the A gap consistently, Kene. They'd be like, okay, let's come up with a plan for you. I would love to see that. I don't have faith that they're going to do that. The Vikings being the Vikings, unfortunately, I guess, in some ways, I think they'll say, Alex, you're back from the COVID list yourself. You're going to get 20 carries.
Well, he probably should get 20. He's a good running. Alex Madison's a good running back.
Right.
Probably should get 18 to 20.
But I don't think Nwangwu is going to then be used in some creative way to supplement that, which is what I would like. I would like to see, Alex, you're going to take on the Cook role and pound the rock and catch some passes. And Kene, you are going to take on a role previously unseen in our scheme. That's what I'd love to see. I have no faith here. But I mean, this also now comes back to, look, a lot of us, I think all 3 of us on this show to start with, thought that Dalvin Cook, with a separated shoulder from 11 days before, shouldn't have played in the Thursday night game against Pittsburgh. We all basically said, are you sure about that? That seems like a big reach, and it seems like a bad idea. And on that night, Dalvin Cook proved just how vital and important he can be. 205 yards, 2 touchdowns, unbelievable game. The fact he was hurt, off the charts game. And so there's no going back now and saying, well, yeah, Cook's hurt, but they'll be fine. Make no mistake. This is a major, major loss in what is I truly believe, must-win game. This hurts.
It hurts. Could I poke holes in major loss? And again, I'm not saying that Dalvin Cook is like not better. He's clearly better than Alex Madison and Kene Nwangwu. Mm-hmm. But Alex Madison, let's not disrespect him here. In his 3 starts in place of Dalvin Cook this year, mm-hmm. Here are the numbers: 32 touches for $171, 32 touches for $153, 25 touches for $124. Mm-hmm. He's been incredible in place of Dalvin Cook. Now, do I think if you lined him up over the course of 17 games, would he put up the same production as Dalvin? No, I'm not saying that he's as good as Dalvin. But I don't think the Vikings are going to just be unable to run the football. If they're unable to run the football, it's not because of Dalvin Cook being out necessarily, is what I'm saying. Like, Alex Madison's been great replacing Cook this season.
And he's a good player. Where my mind got altered by the Steelers game, though, was the trust that the Vikings had in an incredibly important game to put the game on one guy's shoulders and to say, and look, I would argue the philosophy of doing that to Cook is wrong. But if you just strip away what we think personally and go back to that game and look at that game, and in an incredibly important game, a guy who was hurt 11 days before was basically told, dude, we got to have you, and not in a supplemental be good way. You have to be a star. And he was. If I had faith in this coaching staff to come out with a game plan on Sunday that said, you know what, Nwangwu, we've got ideas. We've got ideas of how we're going to spread the ball around. We have a blank canvas here, and damn it, we're going to use that. I'd say, yeah, that's a loss, but the issue is I don't have faith in the people calling the plays and designing the game plan. And so I think Cook becomes a bigger loss because of that fact. And gentlemen, Thielen's probably not going to play. And if Thielen doesn't play and Cook doesn't play, you are making things much simpler on the Rams potentially to game plan themselves on a short week. The more of your skill position star guys that come out, the more it becomes a reach to be like, hey, Kirk, come here a second. Can we get you with a cracked rib to carry us? That's all.
Yeah, the cracked rib. I mean, the stars aren't exactly aligning here, right? The Rams are playing for the Rams are red hot. They've won 3 games in a row. OBJ has been a great weapon for them, and they're playing. Their incentive is win a division and get the number 1 seed, which is still all in play for them. 3 straight wins, the Vikings have a cracked rib quarterback. They're missing Adam Thielen and now Dalvin Cook. But so that's kind of the landscape going into this game. But you got to win this game. I think you probably have to win 3 games. Like there's some weak schedules among the teams that are beneath you. If you want to avoid tiebreakers and you want to avoid relying on other teams, like you need to win the next 3 games. At minimum, you have to win 2 of the next 3. So if you lose this game to the Rams, that means you have to run the table at Lambeau and then beat the Bears at home. So we'll see. We'll see. But that's the news. Dalvin Cook is on the COVID-19 list. And I would say buckle up here the next 48 hours because we've seen this happen with some teams where all of a sudden, like, here's one guy gets put on, 3 guys get put on, and now all of a sudden you're down to your 3rd-string quarterback like Washington and Cleveland were. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here, but not ideal. So any other final thoughts from you guys?
Ian Book, trade for him. He's starting for the Saints now.
Is that what's happening? Oh, man.
Yeah.
Our guy Sage Rosenfels, I think, was working with him in the offseason.
Hey, you know what? Is Sage available? Is Sage healthy?
Might need him. All right, that is a wrap on this breaking news edition of Purple Daily presented by Surly and TCL. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and stay off the COVID list, kids.